Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Mimosa Fridays podcast, a show where we share powerful life lessons and a few laughs as Gail empowers others as she sits at the intersection of people, purpose, and politics while sipping on mimosas. Now grab some orange juice and champagne and welcome your host, Gail Dudley.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Yes, I'm just now coming off of the News in Motion broadcast for this morning, but it was so on me to come on and talk about breakthrough coaching. In particular, I want to talk about steps to developing a winning plan. Again, steps to developing a winning plan. I just want everyone to hear me when I share this. We're going into the third quarter on July the 1st. That is this coming Thursday. We're going into the third quarter. So anyone who has who's an entrepreneur, a freelance writer, an author, you're doing a side hustle, you're a small business owner. I'm sure many of you are looking back over the past 3 to 6 months. So the past 2 quarters, wondering, okay, where do I stand? How are things looking? And what can I do to increase what it is that I'm doing? I've been working with the coach. I believe every coach should have a coach. I've been working with the coach, and something that she always tells us to do, that is, even if there's 2 days left in the month, go ahead and set a mini goal of what it is you want to accomplish. So each month you want to accomplish something. You want to set a goal. So many people are going into their businesses blinded. They're going and just not really looking, setting goals for themselves. So if you're not setting anything, how do you know what it is that you're reaching? So I want you to begin to set goals for yourself. When we're talking about breakthrough coaching, you have to set a goal. So if you're taking notes, write this down. You want to set a goal. It's so important to set a goal. What goal? Now, your goal needs to mirror and match up with your mission statement. So, number one, if we're talking about steps to developing a winning plan, and I'm going to give you 15 steps. So, hopefully, you are writing these things down. I'm going to give you 15 steps. The first one is that you want to develop your mission statement. Whether that's a personal mission statement, a business mission statement, a ministry mission statement, or a nonprofit mission statement. You want to develop your mission statement. A mission statement is 25 words or less. 25 words or less. Now, you have a goal, or you have maybe 3 goals for the next 3 months. We're looking at going into the third quarter. You have 3 months. You have 3 months, y'all. You have July, August, September. What is a goal for each month? What is based upon your mission statement, what are your goals? What are your goals financially for each month? What are your goals if you're talking about sales or book sales for each month? What are your goals if you're talking about building your e-newsletter list? What are your goals? What are your goals? Make sure you are setting your goals. Set the goals, y'all. Set the goals, set the goals, set the goals. Whatever goals you have, if you want to set a goal for balancing your life and business, set that goal. If you want to set a goal for going on vacation or taking days as self-care, set the goal. Y'all, write on your paper, and please write. You can key into your computer, but there's something about writing this down. So I suggest that everyone have a business journal. Have a business journal and write your goals down. Y'all, we're going into the third quarter. We're going to the third quarter. So number one, steps to a winning plan. Number one, develop a mission statement. And you develop this mission statement after you have written down your goals and objectives, because your goals and objectives should be feeding into your mission statement. Now, if they do not align, then something's off. You need to rework that plan. You need to rework that plan. Number two, steps to a winning plan. Know what you want to do for this next quarter. What do you want to do? Now, if you happen to look back over the last 6 months and say, I'm not feeling this, I'm not for sure if this is me any longer, maybe it's time for me to move out of this, then do it now. This is the opportunity, your chance to do it now. If it's not working for you, answer the question. That's step number 2. Know what you want to do. So what do you want to do? What makes your heart sing? Y'all know that's my wording. What makes your heart sing? What do you want to do? Step number 3, I want you to fix your objectives firmly into your mind. Fix your objectives firmly into your mind, which means you may have written out your objectives. You're going to be writing them out for the third quarter. Fix them in your mind. Know what they are. Also, y'all, use some poster board. Use poster boards in your office, in your makeshift office, in an area of your living room, whatever, and just have it sitting up so that when you're passing by that poster board, you're getting a glimpse of it. You're saying, okay, am I on target? Am I off target? Looking at this. When you're writing things down, it's not to close the book, never to look at it again. It's to keep it in the forefront of your mind so you know what it is you want to do. So you want to fix those objectives firmly in your mind. Step number 4, you have to ask this question. Do the objectives line up with the plan that you have written out? Do your objectives line up with God's plan that He has for your life? Y'all know I can't get away from it. I am a believer of Jesus. Yes, I am. And I give Him all of my businesses. I just become the employee. And I'm intentionally being obedient to what it is He's asking me to do. That's how I find that I thrive in what I do, because I'm turning it over. And many of you already know, anytime I'm doing any sort of coaching or master classes or webinars, I use biblical principles. So if I'm not the person for you, I'm sorry, I understand, then find that person. But whatever you do, you make sure you find that person who's going to help you go far in the business that you have planned for yourself. Now, stay with me, because you can pull out the nuggets you want to pull out and go forward. Hear me. This is unity. This is team. We got to stop separating and say, okay, let me pull what I can. Even when you're watching videos or movies, this is a side note here. There's always something in there. Pull it out. Pull it out. Utilize it. Utilize it. I cannot tell you that. Sometimes we just, and yes, there's times we want to think about work. I got that. Or our business. I got that. That's self-care. But there are times you just want to pull from that. So make sure you're doing that. Number 5, break your objectives into tasks. So you have 3 months, third quarter, 3 months. Break your objectives up into tasks. Break those up. Number 6, determine what information you will need. What information? Like, let's say if you're going to make cold calls, what information do you need to make those calls? Let's say you want to look at doing a new logo. What information do you need? Let's say you want to do some sort of content building. What information do you need? Do you have a calendar for your content? You should have a calendar for July, August, and September for your social media content, y'all. This is planning, and this is the time to do it. Going into this weekend, going into this week. Today is the 29th of June. So tomorrow's the 30th. July the 1st is on Thursday. Y'all, you have 48 hours, 72 hours to put a plan together. Not haphazardly, but a real plan together. This is how you do this, y'all. And each week you should be looking back saying, okay, let me measure this. Where do I stand? How far do I need to go? Business takes work. It takes work. It's not something you can just say, okay, let me do this and go on about your day. It takes work. All right, y'all. So determine the information you need. Number 7, identify your resources. Look at your bank account. What are my financial resources? Look at the people you need to contact to do whatever it is that you're doing. Let's say you're working on a book. What are the resources? Ingram, Amazon, Lulu.com. There are so many others. Do you need a literary agent? Go to your URL and put in a literary agent. Do you need a book editor? And a book editor is different than a regular editor. If so, find out your resources. Do you need promotion? Do you need marketing? Look at your resources. Look at your list of contacts to see who's already available. Can you share? Can you share? So you're not doing a monetary exchange, a financial exchange, but can you share resources where, okay, can you do this marketing for me? I'll do this for you. I'll write your content for you, whatever that looks like. People do barter in business, especially when you're a small business, you're doing a side hustle or an entrepreneur or a freelancer. Those things are real. Those things are real. So identify your resources is number 7. Number 8, attach a timetable to your plan, whether that's every 3 days, every 7 days, every 21 days, every 30 days, whatever that is. We're talking the third quarter, y'all. So map that out. Number 9, complete your tasks. Whether you have a to-do list, you go to Trello, which is Trello. That's what I use. I think it's really great. Whatever it is, do you have a virtual assistant? How do they set that up with you? Y'all, you have to break your task up and then complete the task. Trello, you can complete it and move it to another area so that you're able to see everything that you have accomplished during that time frame that you have set to complete something. Number 10, review your plan regularly. That goes back to putting that poster board up, something that you can see, that you use a marker real big. You can go to the dollar store, y'all, and get those dollar billboards. You can go to the dollar store and get those dollar billboards, poster boards, and they're real thick. They're really thick. I have them all over my house. I use them for putting together outlines for a book, putting together my content for News in Motion, putting together content for my politically savvy civic engagement workshops, putting together content for my social media platforms. I have them all over. And I keep those in the forefront. Once they're completed, I just, you can break them apart because they're not like something you can just fold easily. And I throw them out. I move on to my next thing. I don't keep them because keeping them will keep me distracted. So I got to get rid of those things. All right, y'all. Number 11, resist all distractions. Resist all distractions. I think many of us learned this the past year during the height of the pandemic, where maybe our family was home and we're trying to figure out, how can I not be distracted? How can I do breakfast, lunch, and dinner for my children, set them up for school, for virtual learning, get the laundry together, and do my work? We've learned how to resist distractions. So I'm going to ask you to continue to do that, y'all. This is the third quarter. This is the third quarter that even if you have not accomplished much anything in the first 2 quarters, you can make a bang right here in the third quarter going into the fourth. Approach each task assertively and prayerfully. Also be very positive. Be very positive. So you want to have some sort of assertiveness when you're going forward. You want to be prayerful. I pray about everything. I do. A good book about prayer is Draw the Circle, the 40-day devotional. Y'all draw circles around your prayers. And what do I mean by that? Draw circles around yourself. And it's not like you're literally drawing a circle. It's just you're thinking about, God, I'm going to give you myself. And you just draw a circle around that. Y'all, number 13, maintain a positive attitude. Y'all, I know it can be very distracting these days, but do everything you can to maintain a positive attitude. Speak life to yourself. Build yourself up. Have affirmations. Write them out. Put those on poster boards and put them up in your office. Make it your home screen, affirmations that you're speaking life to yourself. But please maintain a positive attitude. If you see the bank account going down low, don't throw in the towel. Be positive. Say, okay, what's a mini goal for the next 24, 48 hours? I'm going to make a difference. Number 14, always move towards your goal. Always, always, always move towards your goal. Always move one step in front of the other. If you watched the video I put up on yesterday, which was June the 28th, I talked about beating the odds. And in beating the odds, I talked about motivating yourself. That was number 1. Number 2, I talked about building a list. And that list is not just a list to hit people up to become a client, but that's a list. That's your list of what it is you want to do, what it is you want to accomplish. Build that list, a realistic list. And then number 3, I talked about implementing your plan. Implementing your plan. How are you going to implement that plan? And each week, for me, works for me. Each week, I'm implementing a new plan or a piece of the plan or a piece of the overall plan. So if I'm doing something for 21 days, I normally do it for 21 days, not 30. I have it set up on my Trello account. And Trello, that's Trello. I have it set up, and no, I'm not an affiliate, but I think it's a really great product. I set it up there, and then in 21 days, I have goals that I'm trying to reach. So I'm implementing a piece of that plan throughout each goal. So I'm implementing a plan each week. And then it's good because I can see it being accomplished. So in 21 days, it's usually accomplished. If it's not accomplished within 21 days, then it goes to 30 days. Something that you can do, y'all. Hear me. You want to do that. You want to do it. So always move towards your goal. I also talked about yesterday in the video called Beating the Odds. That was June the 28th, 2021, where I did that video. And it's here on YouTube. What I did, I talked about, because I preached this sermon when your back is up against the wall. Normally people look at that as a negative, like my back is up against the wall, I can't do anything. I say that's a lie. Because if your back is up against the wall, you see in front of you space and opportunity. You see in front of you how you can craft a plan to move forward. And the goal is to take one step, work that step, then take the next step, work that step, then take the next step. So the next time you say, my back is up against the wall, look at that as an opportunity for you to move forward with boldness. Hear me, you want to move forward. And then number 15, what God has told you to do, do it. So what has God told you to do? What's your discernment? What do you feel? What are you passionate about? Do it. What's that one thing that keeps coming to you? Do it. And does it match what you're currently doing? If not, then you got some decisions to make. So there's two things under 15 I want to talk about, and then I'm out of here. Number one, what's the clear direction for your life? Now, for me, I'm always asking, all right, God, what is that clear direction? Now, He's not going to give me the entire thing. He's going to give me snippets of it. He'll give me a glimpse of it. But I can't sit back and wait for it all to unfold. I have to start moving forward. And every now and then I come to a fork in the road and I have to sit there for a moment and say, okay, God, which way am I going? Am I going left or am I going right? And I wait for that still small voice. But in my waiting, I'm still working. I'm still working. And then when He pivots me or moves me, I go that direction. So something to think about. And then number two, are you ignoring? Are you ignoring that inner voice telling you to do something, telling you to go to a specific area, telling you to work within a specific arena? Are you ignoring it? Are you ignoring the voice of God? I can't answer that. Only you can. All right, y'all. You may say, okay, this is great, but I need somewhere else to go with it. And because I do what I do, I'm now offering breakthrough coaching. I've been offering it now for about 3 years, but I'm finding that people are really needing it lately. I had several women share with me over the past week how the breakthrough coaching has really helped them. One woman said she saw it on Twitter and said, oh, why not? I don't know her, but let me just try it. She says, wow, I never would have thought that I would have gotten this much from there. She said, I've been stuck for the last 6 months, but I got clarity. Thank you. Thank you. I have 35-minute sessions or 50-minute sessions. But y'all, you have to invest in yourself, especially if you find that you are stuck. You want to be unstuck. And I'm here to help you with breakthrough coaching. You can schedule. My schedule is wide open. I was going to really relax this week going into the 4th of July, but so many people are saying I'm hitting the third quarter and right now things aren't looking good. And y'all, you may say, well, I don't have a business. Well, what's your personal mission statement? What are you doing in your personal life? What about your career? You can get breakthrough in your personal life and your career as well. And yes, hear me, I use biblical principles. I do. I talk about scripture. I talk about God. I do. Yes, I do. And hopefully you say, you know what? I may not be a believer right now, but I want to go ahead and hear. I'm not going to ask you to come to Jesus or anything like that, but I do use biblical principles. Why? Because I believe in them and I believe God. So if I'm not the person for you, trust me, find you a coach that's going to help you, especially if you're in a place that you're feeling stuck or you're frustrated and you're looking at going into the third quarter and the first and second quarter didn't go too well for you. So book today. I have openings, I think later this afternoon. I have openings all day on Wednesday and Thursday because I opened up my calendar knowing that we were going into the third quarter, excuse me. So you can go to www.book, B-O-O-K, with Gail, Gail, the period sign AS, the period sign ME. Again, that's www.bookwithgail, Gail, the period sign AS, the period sign ME. Schedule, whether it's 30, and it's actually 35 minutes or 50 minutes. But trust me, we work during those sessions. If not, take these 15 steps and do something today. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me. I am Gail Dudley. Go ahead and book with me. www.bookwithgail.as.me. You all have a great day.
Catch Gail each weekday on News in Motion on Facebook Live at facebook.com/newsinmotion or her YouTube at youtube.com/Gail Dudley. You can also follow Gail on Instagram and Twitter at Gail Dudley and visit her website, www.gaildudley.com. Until next week, as Gail always signs off, stay well and remember to make some moves.